All right, welcome to Big Time Basketball, the basketball segment of the Fantasy Fanatics Podcast. I'm your host once again, James. And yeah, we got a full house again. All three of the boys are back. First, I'll start with you, Terry. What's up, man?
Bing bong. What's up? What's up?
Nice to have you back, bro. Mete, what's up, man?
Ayo.
And Nate, what's up, bro?
So,
All right. In today's episode, going to recap the games from Sunday. We'll take a look at some of the scores from Monday, some of the games still going on. We'll give you our fantasy basketball pickups for the week. Then we'll take a look at Tuesday's game slate. We'll preview that. Then we'll take a special look at the Christmas game slate, and we'll try and preview that as well. So that'll be pretty exciting. So yeah, let's just hop right into it. We'll start with Sunday's games. We got the Detroit Pistons beating the Miami Heat 100-90. Good win for the Pistons. Obviously, a lot of players out for different teams, but getting to the scores here, in terms of points, Saddiq Bey led the Pistons with 26. Max Struss led the Heat with 24. And then for rebounds, Isaiah Stewart with 14 for the Pistons, while Omer Yurtseven had 12 for Miami. And then both Kyle Lowry and Cade Cunningham had 10 assists to lead their respective teams. Terry, since you're back, I guess I'll start with you. I guess, what are your thoughts on Detroit?
A couple of thoughts on Detroit. I mean, this is just a development game for this young squad. Guys like Saddiq Bey, Isaac Stewart, Cade Cunningham, they're all going to learn valuable experience from beating some veteran teams like that are led by guys like Kyle Lowry and PJ Tucker. This ain't really a team that you're going to expect a lot from this season because, I mean, look at their record right now. Only got 5 wins, and they just broke, a 17-game losing streak. So, I mean, as I said before, valuable lesson for this squad. Move on to the next one.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely developing each and every game, all the young players. A good win here. I guess, Mete, I'll get to you on Miami. They had a lot of players out, but I guess, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, they had a lot of players out. COVID is pretty much hitting almost every team. So you see a lot of teams, they gotta play their players that they usually don't play. Guys like Gabe Vincent, Keize Okpala, Omer Yurtseven, and Max Struss. You don't really see those guys every night from Miami, and credits to them as Yurtseven, Max Struss, those two had great games. I think the game before, even Max Struss, he hit like 8 threes. So yeah, this is a huge opportunity for the guys who aren't out, obviously, to just showcase what they have. And yeah, you got to give credit to the ones who take advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about Miami, whether their depth would get tested. And I guess this is the time where it's happening. It's good to see guys like that popping off. And as Nate would say, it's the National Next Man Up Association. So at this point, with COVID running wild through the league, yeah, you got to see how much depth your team has. Getting to the next game, Portland Trailblazers beating the Memphis Grizzlies 105-100. In terms of leaders for the teams, we have Damian Lillard leading the Trailblazers with 32 points. Dylan Brooks at 37 to lead the Grizzlies. Larry Nance, 11 rebounds to lead Portland, while Steven Adams had 9 to lead Memphis. And then in terms of assists, both Damian Lillard and Tyus Jones had 5 assists to lead their respective teams. I guess, Nate, I'll get to you on Portland. I guess, what are your thoughts on this win?
I think it's a pretty decent win considering Memphis has been doing pretty well recently, even with John Morant out. And I guess Portland's been having an up and down season, and Lillard's finally back. So they're probably going to be able to make some noise.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting actually to see this team, slowly getting back to normal, and great game from Lillard as well. Terry, I'll bounce to you. I guess, what are your thoughts on the Grizzlies?
Thoughts on the Grizzlies? They're just being a well-oiled machine for this season. A lot of people probably expected them fighting for most likely maybe a 7 seed, 8 seed. Right now, they're in the mix of like those top contenders as well as those teams you didn't expect as well. I mean, 4 seed right now against guys or teams like the Nuggets and the Clippers are amazing, especially with guys like John Morant out for the Grizzlies as well. Tyus Jones has just been killing it for this past week. Unfortunately, in this game, only had 5 assists, 5 points on like what 2 of 8 for the field goal. So I mean, you can't always have the perfect game, but hey, it's another win for actually not even another win, but unfortunately you can't win them all.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The Grizzlies have been hot. Like you said, moved up to like what, fourth seed in the West. They've been really balling out. It's probably just a one-off. They'll probably bounce back for their next game, and we'll move to the next game actually. And it's the Sacramento Kings beating the San Antonio Spurs 121 to 114. I'm looking at the stats here. Buddy Hield had 29 points to lead the Kings. DeJounte Murray with 25 to lead the Spurs. Then for rebounds, Damian Jones, 8 to lead the Kings, while Keldon Johnson had 11 to lead the Spurs. Then in terms of assists, Tyrese Halliburton, 11 to lead the Kings, while DeJounte Murray had 9 to lead the Spurs. Mete, I'm going to get to you on the Sacramento Kings. I guess what are your thoughts on this pretty big win?
Yeah, it's a good win, but I said this last episode. I want to see them probably trade Harrison Barnes at the trade deadline unless they go on a run and they're in like a playoff spot or something or really close. And I think Buddy Hield they could ship off as well. He's pretty much at like the peak of his career, I'd say. He's not that young anymore too. So yeah, with the current way things are going for them, I think they should just try to find some value for the veterans. Even Tristan Thompson, he's been playing pretty good lately. So yeah, I think by the trade deadline, if they're not doing good, they could definitely look to ship off some veterans, I think, and try to get value for them.
Yeah, I mean, this Sacramento Kings team, we talked about them just being mediocre most of the year. That's pretty much what this is. They beat a team that's sort of around them. I mean, it is a big win, but yeah, I definitely agree with that. I guess Terry, I'll get to you on the Spurs. You follow this team pretty well. I guess what are your thoughts on that?
Um, it's just one of those years where I guess not everything's clicking. Guys like Keldon Johnson, 5 for 14 from field goal. If you're shooting like that and only getting, what was it, 16 points, I mean, something's not working here. Guys like Devin Vassell, you're expecting to, I don't know, eventually take over for maybe a guy like maybe Keldon Johnson or maybe even like Lonnie Walker. Um, Outside of that, I mean, they need a little bit more front court depth. I mean, besides guys like Jakob Pertl, you got guys on the bench like Cadence Bates Diop, I believe, and then Drew Eubanks only playing 3 minutes. So, I mean, that's kind of the epitome of what the San Antonio Spurs are right now, post Tim Duncan. Always trying to fill in that big man void, and unfortunately, they can't find that solution as of yet.
Yeah, I mean, it has been tough for the Spurs. Hopefully, this rebuild, I guess, goes as planned. Hopefully, Greg Popovich is going to stay on and sort of build this team back up. It would be a nice thing to see. Moving on to the next game, Chicago Bulls beating the LA Lakers 115 to 110. Looking at some of the stats here, we got DeMar DeRozan 38 points to lead the Bulls. We got LeBron James with 31 to lead the Lakers. And then in terms of rebounds, Nikola Vucevic 13 to lead the Bulls, while LeBron James had 14 for the Lakers. And then in terms of assists, DeMar DeRozan had 6 to lead the Bulls, while Russell Westbrook had 8 to lead the LA Lakers. Mete, I'm going to get to you. I guess what are your thoughts on the Bulls win?
Yeah, this is their first game back for like a week, I think. They got a couple games postponed, so they were finally able to have enough players to play a game as they got hit with COVID really hard. They had like 8, 9 guys out. And it was a great first game back. DeMar hit a huge shot at the end over LeBron. Kind of felt nice to see as a Raptors fan as LeBron has been tormenting the Raptors, or he used to torment the Raptors back on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Pretty much every time we played them, and so yeah, it just felt nice seeing DeMar ice the game over LeBron, and then Lonzo, one of the best defensive guards in the NBA, maybe even one of the best defenders right now. So yeah, I really like this Chicago Bulls team. This was without Zach LaVine too, so these are definitely their number 2 option there. It's a big win, even though the Lakers are kind of struggling right now.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's a really big win for this team. Definitely want to keep that top two spot there in the East. I guess, Nate, I'm going to get to you on the Lakers. I guess, what are your thoughts on this loss?
Um, I guess this was kind of the LeBron and Russell Westbrook show for the entire game. They tried to put the team on their back, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough. But on the bright side, Isaiah Thomas is back. He's got a spot on the Lakers, and he did pretty good for his first game back.
Yeah, honestly, it's great to see him back in the league. I know people hate on him that he doesn't play defense, but I guess you can't deny his offensive talent. So it's really good to see him out there. I guess moving on to the next game, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves beating the Dallas Mavericks 111 to 105. Looking at some of the stats here, Karl Anthony Towns, 24 points to lead the Wolves. We have Tim Hardaway Jr. with 28 to lead the Mavericks. And then for rebounds, Jared Vanderbilt had 10 to lead the Wolves. And then Maxi Kleber had 14 to lead Dallas. And then in terms of assists, Karl Anthony Towns, 6 to lead the Wolves, and Jalen Brunson at 11 to lead Dallas. I guess, Terry, I'll start with you. I guess, what are your thoughts on Minnesota?
I would say probably a little surprise, just like the Grizzlies this year. I mean, uh, team ran in Minnesota doesn't really do good, especially if your name's the Timberwolves. They were usually like the bottom feeders of the West for I don't know how many years. And they had that one nice year with Jimmy Butler, but then eventually he left. And then they went back to being a bottom feeder team in the West Division again. I mean, with guys like Jared Vanderbilt, D'Angelo Russell, and Malik Beasley, you're expecting these guys to fill out the void that can't be filled by Karl Anthony Towns or I believe, what's his name, Anthony Edwards. Uh, Surprisingly, they're still fighting for that eighth spot with teams like the Lakers and the Mavericks and the Kings. Right now, they're currently on a 4-game winning streak, and it's just on to the next one for this Timberwolves team.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. This win was big. They helped them pass Dallas in the standings, and now they have that eighth seed. I guess, Mete, getting to you, what are your thoughts on the Mavericks?
Yeah, they've been without Luca a couple games, so that's not gonna help them. He's a top 5 player in the league. But Jalen Brunson, like I said last episode, whenever Luca's not there, he gets a start and he always does great. And this was another game of that. Tim Hardaway and Dorian Finney-Smith, those guys are usually 3-point shooters, but without Luca, they got more shots and they did great with that opportunity. Porzingis had a rough game though, so that really hurt them. Without Luca, he automatically becomes the #1 option there. So I think they needed a bit more out of him. And yeah, they definitely need Luca back, I think.
Yeah, they definitely need Luca back. I don't even know if they'll be able to hold on to, a play-in spot if he doesn't come back soon, because he's pretty much the heart and soul of that team. I guess moving on to the next game here, we had the Phoenix Suns beating the Charlotte Hornets 137 to 106. Leading the Suns was JaVale McGee with 19 points. Miles Bridges had 26 to lead the Hornets. And then DeAndre Ayton, 15 rebounds to lead the Suns, while LaMelo Ball had 10. In terms of assists, Chris Paul had 9 to lead the Suns, while LaMelo Ball had 7. Nate, I'll start with you. I guess, what are your thoughts on this win for Phoenix?
Really surprising. I was expecting the score to be a little bit lower than 137 to 106, but basically the entire team came to play, and unfortunately the Hornets weren't able to stop that.
Yeah, I mean, when you're averaging over 30 points a quarter, that's pretty solid. You'll get a win probably 90% of the time. Terry, just moving to you, I guess, what are your thoughts on this pretty much a blowout loss for the Hornets?
Rough. This team's probably coming back. I haven't been keeping up with ball a lot, to be honest with you, but I did hear that the Hornets did have a series of COVID protocols and health and safety issues. So with that said, I mean, you're just trying to build this team back up. You can't always win them all, and fortunate for the Hornets that they did go on a little hot streak at the start of the year. So hopefully it doesn't bite them in their behinds when it comes to playing time or when it comes to seeding.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right about that. They had a hot start. They sort of come back down to earth. They're now around a 500 team. So they definitely need to turn things around, I guess, if they want to sort of stay in the hunt there in the East. We'll move to the Monday slate. Some of the games that have finished, we'll take a look at. Philadelphia 76ers beating the Boston Celtics 108 to 103. Looking at the top scorers here, Joel Embiid, 41 points to lead the 76ers. Huge game for him. Jaylen Brown had 30 points to lead the Celtics. And then Enes Kanter Freedom had 11 rebounds to lead the Celtics. And Joel Embiid had 10 to lead the 76ers. And then it looks like Seth Curry had 7 assists to lead the Sixers, while Jason Tatum had 6 to lead Boston. I guess, Mete, I'll start with you. Pretty big win for Philly.
Yeah, it's a good win. I definitely wouldn't be expecting them to be only 16 and 15, 31 games in. So yeah, they're barely over 500. I know Embiid, he's been battling injury and COVID, I think. He missed some time because of that. They haven't had Ben Simmons, but yeah, I still expect more from this team. They're only one game over 500, and who knows, maybe this is a game that starts a big run for them.
Yeah, they looked really solid here. I mean, Embiid, the double-double, and Tobias Harris and Seth Curry both had over 25 points. So really solid overall for this team. And then I guess getting to you, Nate, because what are your thoughts on the Celtics?
I guess this was kind of a case where two teams have really good offenses, so you're kind of going back and forth a little bit. And unfortunately, Embiid is one of the best centers in the league, if not the best. So pretty tough matchup for any team to try to shut him down. But Jaylen Brown played really well, 30 points. Tatum unfortunately only got 17. He normally gets 20 or more, but yeah, I guess that's just kind of how the game played out.
Yeah, I mean, it was lower scoring overall compared to some of the games we've been recapping. So, yeah, maybe that was one of the reasons. Tatum's point total was a bit lower, but yeah, Boston, they've been pretty mediocre all year. I think they need to find their rhythm and sort of get on a run if they really want to go far this year in the playoffs. Moving to the next game here, we have the Chicago Bulls beating the Houston Rockets 133 to 118. Pretty big win here for the Bulls. Taking a look at the stats, we have DeMar DeRozan, 26 points to lead the Bulls, Christian Wood, 23 to lead the Rockets, and then Vucevic, 6 assists to lead Chicago, with Christian Wood getting 11 to lead the Rockets, Lonzo Ball, 8 assists to lead Chicago, and Jayshawn Tate had 6 to lead Houston. I guess, Terry, I'll start with you. Pretty big win for Chicago. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it is a pretty big win, especially when you're playing a bottom feeder team like the Houston Rockets. I mean, honestly, they just came back from COVID, just like I believe it was the Charlotte Hornets that I did say. And with that said, I mean, this is just a game to get your feet wet and possibly move on to the next game. Don't know 1,000% sure what or who they're playing next. Possibly the Raptors if the border restrictions aren't intact. But outside of that, I mean, just move on to the next one for the Bulls.
Yeah, they had back-to-back solid games, which is pretty impressive considering you do have some fatigue coming off of a back-to-back. I guess, Mete, I'll get to you on the Rockets. I guess, what are your thoughts on this team?
They've been much better lately. They were off to a horrible start, and they went on like a 6, 7 game win streak, something like that. And they've been okay lately. So yeah, I think the fact that they're playing guys like Armani Brooks, Josh Christopher, sorry, he's been nice lately. They just got to play their young players. They don't have much expectations, I'd say this year. Even Kenyon Martin Jr., he's been playing great lately, and I'm still waiting for the Rockets to start Alperen Sengun, as I really believe in him, and I think he has a great future ahead.
Yeah, I know this Rockets team, they got a lot of really good young players. And yeah, pretty much like we said with teams like Detroit, every game's a tryout. We play the young guys, they get experience, they get a chance to prove themselves. So yeah, Houston has a bright future on the horizon. I guess another team that sort of has a lot of young guys. They got a win here. OKC beating the Memphis Grizzlies 102-99. I guess getting to the stats, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander 23 points to lead the Thunder. Desmond Bane 25 to lead Memphis, and then Darius Baisley had 7 assists to lead the Thunder, while Steven Adams had 14 rebounds to lead Memphis. And then getting to assists, Josh Giddey 11 assists to lead the Thunder, while John Morant had 8 to lead Memphis. I guess I'll start with you, Nate. I guess what are your thoughts on OKC?
I guess they're another team that's kind of in the rebuilding stage, just trying to experiment with their team a little bit, trying to get the younger players some more experience. I think this was still a pretty good win overall, considering Memphis had their number and it was a home game, and this is another home game, but they were able to come away with the win against the Memphis Grizzlies at home.
Yeah, big win for the Thunder, no question about that. I guess, Terry, I'll get to you. Is it concerning that the Grizzlies have dropped back-to-back games?
To be honest, no. It's your first game back with John Morant as your franchise centerpiece. Unfortunately, Tyus Jones did miss this game. I think it was for his wrist or his knee, one of the two. Outside of that, I mean, you're just trying to get the chemistry back together with guys like John Morant and Steven Adams, or John Morant and Triple J. And, just trying to mesh everything together again. Outside of that, on to the next game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like we talked about, they do have a good spot up there in the West. So, even if they come back down to earth a little bit, I think they should be pretty solid overall. And then getting to the next game here, we have the Utah Jazz beating the Charlotte Hornets 112-102. Getting to the stats here, Rudy Gobert 23 points to lead the Jazz, LaMelo Ball 21 to lead the Hornets. Rudy Gobert also added 21 rebounds, really solid line for him to lead the Jazz. And then Miles Bridges had 11 to lead the Hornets. And then in terms of assists, Donovan Mitchell had 6 to lead Utah, and LaMelo Ball had 11 to lead the Charlotte Hornets. Mete, I'm going to start with you on Utah. I guess what are your thoughts on this win?
Yeah, it's a good win. They've been really hot lately. I think they're on a win streak still, so that's great. I feel like they might be even more dangerous this year, as I'm looking at their bench, guys like Joe Ingles, Hassan Whiteside, Jordan Clarkson, Rudy Gay. This is a great bench unit. So yeah, they're looking really deep, and I think they could be even better this year, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, we did have high expectations for them last year. Obviously, they fell short of them, but yeah, I definitely agree with you. They are playing really solid. I guess, Nate, I'll get to you. I guess, what are your thoughts on this loss for the Hornets?
Another pretty tough loss. Unfortunately, Utah is a team with another pretty dominant big man in Rudy Gobert, so I'm guessing they had a little bit of trouble trying to contain him. I guess Miles Bridges, he played good as well, and it's good to see Terry Rozier and LaMelo Ball really step up to the plate. They both got over 20 points, so I guess they have that going for them at least.
Yeah, I mean, the Hornets just need to find a way to bounce back at some point. They have been slipping a little bit, so hopefully they can sort of get there in their next game. The rest of the games for the Monday night slate are currently in progress. At the end of the third quarter, the Warriors are up on the Sacramento Kings. And then at halftime, the Spurs are up on the LA Clippers. We won't be covering those games. So let's just move right into fantasy basketball pickups for this week. I guess, Mete, I'm going to start with you. I guess, who's your guard pickup for the week?
Yeah, so for guard, I went with the man who is back in the NBA, Isaiah Thomas, currently at 22% rostered, and he's on the Los Angeles Lakers. First game back, I think he had like 19 points, 21 minutes, something like that. Second game, 33 minutes, something like that, and he got a start. So, yeah, Lakers are hit with protocols, or health and safety protocols. They're a team who has a lot of people out because of COVID, and Anthony Davis, he just got an injury, so it opened up a starting spot, and they let Isaiah Thomas into the starting five. So yeah, he's a great veteran. We know what he can do. I think he's definitely worth a look.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely playing really solid ever since he got into the lineup. I guess, Nate, let me get to you. I guess who's your guard pickup for the week?
I guess you could take a look at Max Struss from Miami. He had pretty good past couple of games. I think he got 24 points against Detroit and he got 32 points against Orlando. And he shoots a lot of threes as well. So if threes are what you need, then you can take a look at him.
All right. And Terry, I'm going to move on to you. I guess who's your guard pickup for the week?
It'd be Nathan's partner in crime for the backcourt with Max Strus. I gotta go with Gabe Vincent. With guys like Hero, Bam, and Jimmy out of the lineup, you got those two guys basically finding a way to carve a decent role into their Miami Heat rotation. I think for the past month, with can't speak English. With those guys out, he probably averaged 2.5 threes, 12 points, I believe 2.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists with a steal as well. And this past week, he has averaged around three pointers as well as 18 points with 4 assists. So as long as that court is unhealthy, keep running with Gabe Vincent. Team was 4 leagues with 14 teams and above. Outside of that, keep an eye on him for streaming purposes in 12s.
All right. And yeah, speaking of deep league streams, I'd have a deep league guy as well. I know Mete, you talked about him. It's Josh Christopher for the Houston Rockets. He's shooting guard eligible. He's under 10% rostered. But yeah, I'd say in his past 6 games, he's had double-digit points in 5 out of the 6. He's averaging around 4 assists per game. So those are probably his 2 best categories. He's also averaged almost 2 threes per game. So pretty solid there as well. My only concern is, I guess, if the Rockets are getting guys back, there's a chance his minutes could go down. But if they are trying to play some of the young players, he's definitely someone that will be on the court. So definitely keep an eye on that. If you're in a pinch in a deep league in terms of like you have a lot of guys with COVID or whatever, he's definitely a guy you could take a look at. And then moving to forward pickups now, I guess, Mete, I'll get to you. Who's your forward for the week?
Yeah, so I have Chimezie Metu from the Sacramento Kings. I think he's power forward and center eligible, and he's at 28% rostered. And yeah, he's moved into the starting 5. Can make threes, great defensive stats, steals and blocks almost every game, and then yeah, he gets solid rebounds. So for a guy at 28% rostered who gets 25 plus minutes, I think it's a good shout.
All right. And I guess, Nate, I'll just move to you. I guess, which forward do you have for this week?
I guess for forwards, maybe you could take a look at Luke Kennard. He's more of a shallow league pickup, 48% rostered, but I think he's averaging 11.9 points. And I think the game against OKC, he ends up getting 27.7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal. And he shoots a lot of threes as well. So if you need, I guess, threes, you need points, you need maybe a little bit of rebounds, a little bit of assists, then Luke Kennard can help you out.
All right, sounds good. And Terry, I'll get to you. I guess, who's your forward pickup for the week?
Yeah, before I go on, forgot to mention Gabe Vincent, 24% owned in Yahoo Sports Leagues, as well as point guard eligible. My forward now, KJ Martin Jr. of Rockets, 17% owned, only small forward eligible. Now that he's getting minutes in the mid-20s, he's becoming more relevant in a few more leagues. I would say he's relevant in 18-team, 16-team, and 14-team leagues. He could possibly be streamed in the 12 teams, but we suggest that when guys like Jalen Green and Michael Porter Jr. do come back, pay attention to the way he does produce. This past week, he did have a double-double in probably 27, 28 minutes, I want to guess, and averaged in the past 7 days 13 points, 6.5 rebounds with 2.5 assists, as well as a steal and half a block, with 50% from field and 59 from charity stripe.
All right. And I guess I'll get to my forward pickup for the week. You guys know I've been banging this man's drum ever since draft season, and it's Nick Batum from the LA Clippers. He's back healthy. He's back in the lineup. His first game back. For a forward, he made 4 threes, 12 points. I mean, he's been really solid in terms of category coverage, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 rebound. And I mean, yeah, he's definitely a guy you can look at. A lot of times he is in the starting lineup as well, so he is going to be getting the minutes. In his first game back, he had 25 minutes. So, yeah, he's definitely a guy that's going to contribute in almost every category. So, maybe in a 12-team league, he'd be at the bottom of your bench. In a 14-team league, he's definitely someone that needs to be picked up. And he's now over 30% rostered. So, yeah, definitely go pick up Nick Batum. Mete, I'm going to get to you for centers. Who's your pickup for the week?
Yeah, so for center, I went with Metu's front court partner, also in Sacramento, Tristan Thompson. He's only 6% rostered, so you have the best chance out of the 3 guys I just named to pick up Thompson, as it's the lowest percent owned. And yeah, he's it's not really that flashy. He's like your typical big man. Good field goal percentage, solid free throw percentage. Gets you decent points, decent rebounds, and he's good for blocks. So yeah, he's recently in the starting 5 as well. So I think for 6% owned, he's definitely worth looking at.
Yeah, definitely must look in terms of deep leagues for sure. Nate, let me get to you. Who's your center pickup for the week?
I guess for centers, you can maybe take a look at JaVale McGee. He's 37% rostered. He's another center who's mostly just asked to play close to the rim, try to get rebounds, try to get some points that are close to the rim. But he's really good at doing that. I think his last game against Charlotte, he got 19.7 rebounds. He got 17 points, 8 rebounds against Washington. So he gets a lot of points, gets a lot of rebounds. His field goal percentage is pretty efficient because he plays close to the rim. So if you need someone like that, pick up JaVale McGee.
All right, and Terry, I'll move to you. I guess who do you have for center this week?
Well, as Nate always says, especially during this pandemic-riddled season, it's next man up association. And with that said, you gotta go to Orlando Magic at 11% owned Robin Lopez. I believe these past 2 performances he had like 20 points, 10 rebounds on 46 from the field, as well as 18 points and 7 rebounds on 69% of the field. With guys like Mobamba and Wendell Carter Jr. out, it's going to be the front court mate with, I believe, Chuma Okeke. So just keep an eye on that.
All right, and I guess my center pickup for the week is Jeff Green from the Denver Nuggets. He's actually tri-position eligible, plays both forward positions and the center spot, which is pretty key for trying to fit him into your lineup. He's, I'd say, a 14-team league must-own player, and then you could probably stream him in shallower leagues than that. I mean, his last 3 games, he's averaged like 14 points. He's made 5 threes total during that time, which is big for a center. And then his most recent game, you had 20 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 block. So really solid. And his free throws also really solid. He's not going to hurt you there. And his field goal, like Nate said, is close to the rim. So that's going to be pretty good for you as well. So I think one of you guys talked about all the injuries with the Nuggets. He's definitely someone that you can capitalize on in terms of his production, I guess, with all those injuries. All right, and that's the end of our fantasy basketball pickups for the week. So we're going to move right in to Tuesday's preview. Let's start with the first game here. As of right now, this game is actually a pick'em. It's the Indiana Pacers against the Miami Heat. Mete, I'm going to start with you. I guess, which side do you like here?
It's kind of hard to say right now with COVID going around every team. I like the fact that the Heat are home, but I feel like the Pacers are the healthier team. I don't remember them having that many guys out due to COVID. So, yeah, whoever is healthier, basically, I'd go with.
All right, Nate, I'll get to you. I guess, what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I think the Pacers are completely healthy, and on Miami side, Butler's out, Hero's out, PJ Tucker is also out. And so I don't think the guys that they have now, some of them are still good, like Kyle Lowry's been playing good, Max Strus has been playing good, but Duncan Robinson hasn't been able to make up the difference lately, so I'd go with the Pacers.
All right, Terry, and I guess getting to you, I guess which side do you like here?
I like the Pacers a lot, especially that they only got, I don't know, TJ McConnelly out. But for some reason, I feel like the Miami Heat find a way to squeeze this one out. That's all I got to say.
All right, and I think I'm gonna side with you guys on the Pacers. Like Mete said, I think they're actually gonna be the healthier team. Maybe the Heat being at home is gonna be tough, but I think the Pacers usually try and pull games like this out. So yeah, I think I'm gonna slightly lean with them. I guess moving to the next game, we have the New York Knicks favored by 9.5 at home against the Detroit Pistons. I guess Terry, this time I'll start with you. I guess which side are you on here?
I guess I got to take, if it's 9.5, that means 10. So I guess I got to go with the Knicks on this. I mean, Detroit's been a horrible team this season, and I feel like a majority of their losses are 10 points or more. So let me run with the Knicks here. Bing bong.
All right, Mete, let me get to you. I guess which side do you like here?
I feel like if I can remember correctly, the Knicks are another team that are riddled with COVID, so it's kind of a bigger spread. I know Kemba just had an amazing game for them. He's back in the rotation, but like I said, I don't think they're healthy enough. So I like the Pistons here, actually.
All right, Nate, what about you? Which side are you on here?
I believe the Pistons were able to get the upset against Miami, although Miami wasn't fully healthy. The Knicks are missing a couple of guys as well, but I think Detroit is the healthier team. It is at home, so maybe the Knicks can still win, but I feel like the Pistons can still cover this.
Yeah, I think give me the Pistons to cover as well. I definitely liked what I saw from them in their last game. They definitely looked like they're really solid. Obviously, they're not going to turn things around completely, but this should definitely be a game that they might not win, like you said, Nate, but they'll definitely be competitive in. So I think they can definitely cover the spread. Moving on to the next game, we have the Portland Trail Blazers favored by 1.5 points in New Orleans to take on the Pelicans. Nate, this time I'm going to start with you. I guess which side do you like here?
Portland's been playing pretty hot right now, so it pretty much comes down to if Lillard and Norman Powell get a lot of points, then they have the chance to win, and it's only 1.5, so might as well go with Portland.
All right, Terry, I'll get to you. I guess what are your thoughts?
Can you say the spread again?
It's 1.5 favoring the Blazers.
Blazers? I mean, that's basically 2, so it's a pick 'em at this rate. Gotta go with the team higher up in the standings. Gotta go with the Blazers here.
All right, and Mete, I guess are you on the same side here?
It's kind of tough. The Pelicans are home, and the Blazers have been so underwhelming this year. So that's why I'm having trouble. I think I might actually go with the Pelicans due to the fact that they're home.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Blazers haven't really done that well on the road this season, but I guess after what I saw from last game, it looks like they might be turning the corner. So I think I might lean slightly with the Blazers here. They should be able to cover the spread, like you said, Terry. It's pretty much a pick 'em at this point. Yeah, you just need to win by like 2 or more. So I definitely think the Blazers can do that. And then getting to the next game, it's actually a rematch from the game we recapped, the Timberwolves against the Mavericks. The Wolves are favored by 1.5 in Dallas. I guess Mete, I'll get to you. I guess which side do you like here?
Uh, I'm pretty sure Luca is out for this game as well, and he's a huge factor. I know the Mavericks are home, but it's a pretty low spread, and I like what I see from the Timberwolves this year. So I think I'll go with the Timberwolves here.
All right, Nate, I'm gonna get to you. I guess which side do you like here?
Yeah, I feel like the Mavs aren't really the same team without Luka, and Porzingis is also questionable. I think most of their starting five isn't fully healthy, so I'm gonna have to go with Timberwolves.
All right, and I guess Terry, I'm going to move to you. I guess are you on the Timberwolves as well?
Amen to that. Next.
All right. I guess for me, I feel like the spread's gonna move as we get closer to tip off. Might get to like 2.5, more than that. So if you like the Wolves, definitely grab them. I definitely think the Wolves can win this game again. It might be closer than the last game, but they only need 2 points to win, and that seems good enough for me. So I'll go with the Timberwolves as well. And then getting to the last game on the slate, it's the Phoenix Suns at the LA Lakers. The Suns are favored by 6.5 points. Nate, I'm going to start with you. I guess which side do you like here?
I go with the Suns maybe. I feel like the Lakers have been a little underwhelming, so I guess I'll just go with the Suns.
All right, Terry, getting to you, I guess which side do you sort of like here?
They just got Devin Booker back, so I feel like 7 points is a plausible spread for this. I mean, we all just heard that Anthony Davis got injured for what, 4 weeks. Knowing him, it's gonna be like 6 weeks. But give me Suns.
All right, Mete, I'll get to you. I guess is the addition of Isaiah Thomas good enough to push this Lakers team over the top?
Yeah, I think I'd actually side with the Lakers. I like the fact that they're at home. And I know they've been underwhelming, but the spread's kind of on like the or bigger side, or it's kind of getting there. And yeah, I think they don't have to win to cover. So I feel like they could cover that.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go with the Suns here. Like you said, Terry, they got Devin Booker back, definitely looking really solid. And I've been hearing Lakers fans complaining about their team saying, oh, we got Isaiah Thomas, another scoring veteran that can't play defense. And I mean, the Lakers have had trouble playing defense all season. So I think this should be another game where the Suns should be able to dominate as Anthony Davis isn't in the lineup. And yeah, that's going to be the end of the Tuesday preview. We are going to preview the Christmas game slate. It's actually a pretty nice game slate at the moment. We don't know whether games are going to get postponed. But yeah, let's take a look at this slate. We'll start with the first game. It's the Atlanta Hawks. They're at the New York Knicks. The Knicks are favored by 1 point. Mete, I'll start with you. Which side do you like here for Christmas?
Yeah, it's a rematch from round one of last year's playoffs. And there's no way I'm taking the Knicks. I know they're at home, but uh the Hawks have been kind of disappointing too, but I don't think I would favor the Knicks here. So for that reason, I like the Hawks.
All right, and I guess Nate, I'm gonna get to you. I guess which side do you like here?
I think it's gonna kind of depend on how healthy each team is. If Trae Young is not healthy, then you could probably go with the Knicks. But if he's healthy, go with the Hawks.
All right, Terry, let me get to you. I guess which side do you like here?
Give me the Knicks on this one. The hairless lollipop or whatever the New York fans have given Trae Young as a nickname, they don't stand a chance. I don't know what to say. If Trae Young's still in health and safety protocols, they're gonna have a rough night. Sweet lemon pepper Lou, he ain't young as he used to be. He ain't the sixth man of the year anymore. And DeLon Wright, this ain't Toronto Raptor DeLon Wright. So I mean, you're gonna have to probably improvise by the center, the power forward position with John Collins, like how it was 2-3 years ago. And for some reason, it's in New York. I mean, come on, you gotta go with the Knickerbockers here right now. Bing bong.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. I'm gonna go with the Hawks as long as Trae Young's playing. We know Trae Young owns the Knicks. He pretty much runs Madison Square Garden at this point. This guy went on WWE TV at MSG and they booed him out of the building because they know the owner of the Knicks walked into the building. So if he plays, yeah, I'm going with the Hawks. Definitely, he's just insane when he plays against New York. Let's move now to the next game. We got the Boston Celtics at the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks are favored by 7 points right now. This time, Nate, I'm going to start with you. Which side do you like here?
think if the Bucks have Giannis in and they have their main starters, there's no reason not to pick them.
All right, Terry, let me bounce to you. I guess which side do you like here?
You said it was -7 for who again?
For the Bucks at home.
The Bucks at home. If they do get Middleton and Giannis, I feel like that's plausible. They can probably beat that. Without, you're probably going to be dealing with guys like James Noah. James Nowana, something like that. And there's a lot of injury tags on this squad right now. Vincenzo's on injured reserve or under protocols. Like, there's a lot of guys here. Outside of that, gotta go with Boston on this, I think.
Yeah, Mete, I'll bounce it to you now. I guess which side do you like here?
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything that was just said. Giannis and Middleton are the big factors here. It's kind of a bigger spread, so if even one of them is in, I'd still go with the Bucks, as the Celtics are just way too up and down, and the Bucks have been really good lately. So yeah, just watch out for Middleton and Giannis, and if they're playing.
Yeah, I think I'd be, I guess, in a similar position as you, but I think both of them would have to play. I guess if the Bucks do have some players out, I think the Celtics actually have a chance of winning this game. I know they've been up and down, but maybe this is the game where they can turn it around. And I mean, even if they don't win 7.5, still a pretty decent spread. Well, it's actually 7. But yeah, maybe they could keep it close. A lot of the Christmas Day games come down to the wire, as we've seen in the past. So yeah, I definitely think Boston does have a chance to cover. And then moving to the next game, we have the Golden State Warriors at the Phoenix Suns. Looks like the Suns are favored by 4 points at home. Terry, this time I'm going to start with you. I guess which team do you like here?
This is all going to rely on Stephen Curry's availability. You're hoping for a Christmas game that he is available for the Warriors' sake and for the NBA's revenue sake. If he's out, I run with the Suns. If he's in, I mean, they did lose to the. So what's the series split with these two teams? 1-1.
Something like that, right? I think so.
Yeah, if that's the case, then on Christmas you got to give it to the light-skinned chef. I'll give it to the Warriors. If it was any other day of the week, I would probably give it to the Suns.
All right, Mete, let me bounce it to you. I guess which side do you like here?
Yeah, I think Curry should be good to go. He was playing tonight, so hopefully nothing happened to him. And I expect a close game. So in close games, I usually just like to side with the plus, and that's the Warriors here. So I'm going with the Warriors.
All right, Nate, let me get to you. I guess which side do you like here?
I was actually thinking about picking the Suns mainly because they're a little bit healthier. I think Golden State currently has Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins out, and Steph Curry still is kind of the centerpiece of the team, so they might have a chance, but I feel like it might be safer to pick the Suns still.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I'm gonna go with the Suns as well. I mean, they are at home. I know I definitely saw that as well, that Golden State did have some players out due to the protocol. I think Jordan Poole was one of them. So if he's not cleared to go by Christmas, I definitely think that Phoenix, I mean, they have their full lineup now pretty much. I think they're just pretty much rolling at this point as well, first in the West. I think at home they should be able to get it done. And then moving to the next game, we have the Brooklyn Nets at the LA Lakers. At this point in time, the spread is all over the place. It's pretty much a pick 'em here, depending on which site you go to. So I'll just set it as a pick 'em. And I guess, Mete, I'll start with you. I guess, do you like Brooklyn or do you like the Lakers?
It's a tough one. These are two teams that don't really excel at defense. So I don't know. The Lakers are home, which makes me kind of want to pick them, but at the same time, they're so up and down, and the Nets are so good. So I might have to go with Brooklyn.
All right, Nate, I guess I'll get to you. I guess which side do you like here?
I think this is gonna kind of come down to who has more players ready to play. Brooklyn is looking like Brooklyn General Hospital right now with a lot of their players out. I think Patty Mills is their only starter who's available at the moment as of this recording. So if the situation continues to look like most of their guys are out, you should probably go with the Lakers.
Yeah, and I guess Terry, which side are you on here?
I'm as clueless as probably the average Joe at this rate. If it's one and a pick 'em, I guess I gotta go with. It's too many factors, man. I'm telling you. I mean, COVID, health, and safety. Half of the teams are playing G Leaguers at the moment, or college 4 years plays. I want to go with Lakers, but for some reason I feel like Brooklyn will get a couple guys back and it'll even it out. But just give me Lakers.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wonder if Brooklyn is gonna be able to get their guys back in time. I think I might still go with the Lakers just because they find ways to pull out these Christmas games all the time. Going back to whether Kobe was on the team, ever since LeBron's been on the team, I don't know, they just always seem to pull out these Christmas games, whether they're playing like the Clippers or they're playing someone else. They just always seem to play well. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just a big stage for guys like LeBron. But yeah, I think I might just lean with the Lakers since it's a pick 'em and we don't know the status of Brooklyn's roster. And then one more game for the Christmas Day slate. We got the Utah Jazz at home against the Dallas Mavericks. It looks like the spread is all over the place. I think -6 is the current spread favoring the Jazz. I guess assuming Luka plays, Mete, I'll get to you. Which side do you like here?
That's a good question. If Luca is in, still not that big of a spread, I feel like. I'm pretty sure that the Jazz are still on a win streak and they're at home here, so I might have to go with the Jazz.
And then Nate, getting to you, I guess which side do you like here?
I kind of like the Jazz. They're really offensively talented. The Mavericks are too, but I feel like just the players that the Jazz have, I feel like they should be able to win each matchup.
All right, and Terry, I'll move to you. Jazz are favored by 6. I guess which side do you like here?
I gotta go with the Jazz on this, and it doesn't even matter if Luka's in there or out of it. I mean, they're one of the 4 teams in this league right now that only have that have 10 losses or under. Well, if you include the Bulls, that would be 5, but they're still a top 5 team in the division, not in the division, in the entire association if you're just looking at their records alone. They're one of those teams that don't really get a lot of credit, small market and all that. And outside of that, let's hammer Jazz at -6.
Yeah, Terry, as you would say, give me the Jazz next question. I feel like the Jazz, they pretty much should be able to get it done. Probably if the spread is under 10, they should be able to get it done because I know that definitely the spread for that game is going to move all over the place with, I guess, the status for Luka. So definitely keep an eye on that. But yeah, I definitely like the Jazz for sure. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the preview. We took a look at Tuesday slate and the Christmas slate. I guess, Terry, since you're back this week, I'll start with you. I guess, what are your final thoughts?
There's a lot of final thoughts, especially since I haven't been on the podcast for a while. I wish I could go over every team, but that's probably going to take another 30 minutes. A couple of teams that have seemed disappointing, Boston for one. That's a main factor. Then you got that other team down in LA, the LA Lakers. They've been slightly disappointing as well. Only the 11th seed, not the 11th, the 7th seed. Outside of that, I mean, surprises this year, probably the Warriors at 2. Stephen Curry is just putting on an MVP performance, even though I don't believe he's going to be the MVP. The Suns as well, they've been playing tremendous. They had that, I believe, 15-game, 17-game winning streak, something like that. They just got to be healthy, and we'll see a deep run in the playoffs for these guys. Surprises in the East, I guess, probably the Cavs and Bulls. I know for sure from last year we were saying how, this Cavs team is looking tremendously efficient, especially even if it was like 10 games into the season, and then they just fell off. But now with a guy like Evan Mobley being that franchise power forward, they're looking tremendous, especially without Colin Sexton. With the Bulls, on the other hand, I mean, those acquisitions during the offseason, DeMar, Alonzo, Caruso, the ball mamba, as Nathan would say. Those guys have just helped out guys like Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic. And then those guys that don't really get enough credit, Ayo, Adi, Sumbo, I believe, and then Javante Green. Those guys are just helping out power forward right now for injured Patrick Williams. But that's all I got to say, man.
All right. And Mete, I'm going to bounce it to you now. I guess any final thoughts?
Yeah, I don't have much to say either, except the fact that it's been kind of a crazy week with a lot of players being ruled out due to COVID, even games getting postponed. So yeah, the NBA, it looks like they have no intentions of shutting down. They're trying to push through it. And yeah, I kind of like these games, even though a lot of people are making fun of it, saying, oh, it's just G League teams going at it. But like I said, it's guys you usually don't see playing. You can see what they've got. So yeah, it's been really good. Two guys who come to my mind specifically are the ones in Miami, Max Struss and Gabe Vincent. They've had a great week. And yeah, whenever your opportunity is given to you, you got to make the most of it.
Yeah, definitely. I was definitely going to mention that COVID's pretty much been running wild in this league at this point. And I mean, we don't even know which guys are going to be in the protocol, out of the protocol. It's just so sudden all the time. Even we saw Kyrie Irving was activated to be able to play, and then he just got placed in the protocol right away. So I don't even know what to say anymore. It's insane. But I guess, Nate, I'll get to you. What are your final thoughts?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of the same as you guys. This is kind of the time of the year where like I've been saying, this is the next man up association right now. So, and I know some people have been complaining a little bit about how the NBA is a little bit too star driven. Normally people come to watch the main guys who are starting, but I think this is kind of the opportunity for maybe the role players and the guys on the bench to kind of stand out a little bit more. It's their time to step out onto the plate, and I guess we might see some more team-driven stuff in the the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I guess it's a good way to sort of round out your team pretty well, develop your depth. I think that's definitely going to happen. I guess when we get to the playoffs, maybe all of these guys that have gotten opportunities to play, they'll make for like exciting series that might actually go longer because teams are a lot deeper. So I will definitely have to see about that. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. Teams' depths are really being tested at the moment. Yeah, it has been a crazy year. I'll definitely agree with that. And yeah, that's going to be the end of this big time basketball episode. Make sure you check us out on Instagram and Twitter at Fan Podcasts. We've been posting pics there pretty much daily for NBA, NHL, and the NFL. So definitely go check that out. This episode will be on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcasts. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit the bell for notifications on YouTube, leave us a review, all that good stuff. And yeah, guys, it's been a rough week in the NBA. Terry, it's great to have you back on Big Time Basketball, and we'll talk to you guys on the next episode.